All right, everybody, I'm with Robby Fagundes right now from, what's your town again?
Hanford, California.
Hanford, California. So the big thing for me, I'm from Wisconsin, and all of a sudden these California mini rods showed up, and they won Ellsworth, Wisconsin. That got everybody pretty excited about this. So tell us about your team a little bit, and tell us, I mean, I came all the way to Riverton, Wyoming to meet you when you were only 2 hours from my house, but I had a Badger State pull that night. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I understand.
There's a lot more selection of pulling that you can go to up there at home compared to what you guys have.
Yeah.
So,
I guess you can kind of say I got hooked into it because once we were out there, we changed plans and did quite a few different things. We were gonna, original plan was to hit Greenville, Ohio. Okay. And then go back down to spend about 14 days out here and go back down and hit Missouri, put us a little bit closer to home, which was, shoot, I can't even remember what the pull was. It was a PPL deal though.
Was it Mountain City?
Mountain City.
Yeah, I announced out there Friday and Saturday night.
We were gonna hit Mountain City, Missouri.
Yeah, because Slaws were there. I think we had 9 or 10 in the class each night. Yep.
They were, it was a good class, which they're tough on both sides. PPL.
Oh yeah, no, and at the end of the day, people accuse me of being a PPL homer because that's who I pull with, but that's who I'm around every weekend. So for me to get out and meet other people like that, it's fun to do that. Yeah. So I love pulling at all levels. I don't care what it is. I just love it, and I want more fans in the stands, so we can do more.
That's me. I want the more fans, the more competition. When I went out there, I was gonna go PPL this year just because I did Rockwell and New Hampton last year, which was NTPA Grand National, so I just wanted to experience the PPL deal. Well, I started making contact with Doug Worth.
Yep. He texted me and found out I was coming out here, so he said I'd probably run into you.
Yeah, so. Great family. Kids are just a bunch of hard working guys.
He said he needs to build one now.
Yeah, well, his kid has a ride with us anytime we go there, that's for sure. So we went out there and we did that, and Doug was just like, well, come do this, and then, the Enderley deal pops up, so everybody's ears perk up for that. Yeah. It only took Doug a little bit to post it on the internet, and I called him, and I was like, what's this all about? And he told me, and I was like, well, maybe it'll break up my 30-hour drive. I go out there and then fly home and fly back and then hit that, see how I stood. Well, luckily enough, we stood pretty good, so we had to get hooked into the rest of them, and we tried to hit New Hampton. And then the first night we went out New Hampton, I mean, that Wisconsin group, I mean, they run, there's a difference between Grand National, but them guys run right there. Yeah. And they were right there, so I was thrilled to end up where I ended up. Went back, and my daughter drew the last draw, and she started watching them go, and they were all driving them like crazy, and Bauer sled, and they hit 340, and I'm like, hey, he backed it off a little bit, and she was like, well, I gotta get on, and she's just been driving more and more aggressive since she's been back there. Yeah, and so she's been driving aggressive, and I had it set up aggressive, and it stood up, and snapped the wheelie bar, and made a left turn, and that pretty much shot her hopes down for the Enderley, but
still, I mean, it was close.
Oh, it was close, but good for Chad Timmerman. I mean, them guys are everybody out there, just a bunch of great guys. When we broke the first night, she wiped the wheels off of it, and there wasn't a guy that had a mini that wasn't there in our pits helping us out. And I know it's a cliche for everybody to say that, but it really is. I mean, they treat you like family, like gold. I mean, it's just, they'll help anything. They'll give you anything.
Yep. What do you do back home?
I'm a maintenance manager for an industrial plant. We do basically make the table contents: sugar, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, mustard, mayo packets like you see at Burger King or whatever.
You're able to take some time off this summer to go pulling, or how does that work?
I've been saving some vacation, saving some time, and it's pretty much vacation this year.
Because that's what everybody kind of thinks, they say, oh, the Beer Money pulling team. I think they think we own like 100 tractors.
Oh no.
And they kind of like, oh, you're full time like NASCAR. No, that's what I'm trying to get people. It'd be great if we could do this our full time.
Oh,
I love it.
I sit here and say, well, we drove out and flew back like it's, oh no, the dollars are there for me.
Yeah,
don't even blink at that. I'm pinching pennies everywhere. My wife is at home, and she's just like, she's actually working the whole time. And she's like, well, who do you think you are? I'm this guy right now.
My wife does that same thing.
Yeah.
So we're in the same boat.
So it works out. I mean, I don't know how long I'll be able to do it for, but I mean, I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can afford it.
And I've been talking to Skylar earlier, and Kenny, live a little. I mean, that's, live a little. Let's have some fun. Enjoy our lives a little bit. Not enough people do that.
I look at that, and that's pretty much what kind of keeps me going too. I look at that. Why not? What are you gonna do?
You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
You can't take it with you. Tell us about the tractors a little bit. The minis, both of them.
I used to run a Chevrolet 572, and never was dumb enough to think that they could run with the Hemis, and it's just what I thought I could afford. But in the long run, the Hemis and spending your money up front is what you really need to do. So I ended up putting the money aside, doing one, and then the other one had to get changed. I still ran the 572 up until last year, and then someone came across with a sweet deal to trade me some stuff, so I traded out the Hemi for the Chevy for a Hemi, and just easier to repair once it breaks. So that's kind of the deal. And obviously there's a lot more horsepower because of the technology behind drag racing. And it's funny because I'm still chasing them. I mean, the technology on heads and blowers just keeps on rolling. I thought I got something to get me in the ballpark, and not really. Them Grand National guys, their budgets and my budget, and not only they're smarts. I mean, them guys are sharp.
And
all of them.
Yeah,
they're all sharp. And don't take it away from them. They're not buying anything. They all work their butts off.
Yes, they do.
You go to a pool and you see I'm good friends with Larry Kester, and you don't get to talk to that guy. Haven't seen him in a year and a half, and I went out there and he's grinding tires. And the last pool, I was like, man, I got to make some time to talk to you. And he's all, yeah, well, I got a chance to talk to Craig, his son-in-law, and he's like, pointing over there looking at him grinding tires. He said if I had to do that, I wouldn't be pulling. And that's just, they work at it. Them guys, and they are serious competitors. They are name brand and stuff, and they're getting after it. Adam's a hell of a motor builder, same as Sassy. Them guys are all doing their thing.
Sassy, right?
No. Adam's with Minor Brothers.
That's right, Minor Brothers.
Yep. And they're proud to put their name on the map and who they're dealing with, and that's a good deal. I think that's great for the sport.
No, it is. It is. So how'd you get started with minis?
It was just something that Johnny Mello in our hometown back in the 70s, 77, 78, when he was in his heyday, coming out here and people were strapping on fly swatters. He was a neighbor of ours. My dad farmed, and they farmed around the corner, and it was just they were growing the sport back there, Stanley and Johnny, and they, their association out there, they got us drawn into it, and that's just kind of how it starts. I remember going to pools thinking, when them guys rolled to town, thinking you had a chance. And that's just how young I was, you know? I didn't understand the concept of what was really going on and everything. But yeah, that was a lot of experience from them guys.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, nice meeting you finally in person.
You too.
And seeing you in River. I had to come to Wyoming to meet you. So.
Yeah, it's hot out here. So.
Yeah, well, good luck tonight. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.